Alright, hello. This is Robert Masters. I am currently pursuing my Master's in Information Systems at Penn State Harrisburg, and I just wanted to showcase another one of my projects. In this was for my database class. It's a prerequisite to data warehousing, which I'll be taking this fall. Pretty excited about that. But in this project, I was the lead designer. So first we'll go off of the ERD diagram I built. Then we'll do a couple of queries in the database just to look at everything. And that's pretty much going to be it. So starting off with the database, or the diagram here, we'll take a look at patient. Now, for all of this, I labeled the data types for each of the attributes. And this is just to go in for, let's say, people in the future, if they don't know what it is. It helps out to see what all the data types are and what are the character limits and things like that. So very helpful. Date of birth marked as date and things like patient ID being chart 20, things like that. So we also have confidential, which is separated out of the patient table. This is in case you don't want certain people being able to have access to that stuff, restrict access on who can look up confidential information, or just even housing this data separately in a secure cloud location versus the rest of the database, which might not be in a as secure location. So that was the idea behind breaking that out. Now, for the purpose of this database, it is more so focused on inpatient procedures and services, but there are other supportive elements in here as well to help build on that. So you can see that within assurance and billing. So we made a lot of bridge entities here for the many-to-many relationships to clean up the tables so you don't have repeating information more so than is necessary. Otherwise, looking at something like the insurance table or the billing table, or really any of these tables, will get quite messy. So this really helps it out, preventing those many-to-many relationships from being like a direct relationship. Keeping those bridges in place. So we also have like an insurance. It's got your member ID, group number, things like that. Billing split out for max price list versus insurance price list. So max price list, that is for the people without insurance, and then the insurance price list is pricing that they have for the insurance companies. We also have outpatient all. And this is just the broader category for outpatient procedures and services. Checks whether or not they had their aftercare instructions. That's broken out into services and procedures. So this has things like the service name, description, location, doctor, and staff. And that's also true for procedures as well. Moving on, we have equipment. Now over here, we'll take a look. It's got that bridge entity as well. And that's because equipment and procedures and services can be many-to-many. Think of like an anesthesiologist and their equipment, right? That's used on different procedures, and also that equipment can transition to different services too. So it's interchangeable in certain procedures that are being utilized. So very helpful in that regard. Equipment. Right, so that's your equipment name, description, location, inspection date, just your data about your equipment. That ties into the hospital location, so where is that equipment actually located? Very helpful. Surgical suite, this is just kind of the location of where the procedure or service is happening, in what office location. And then for the inpatient, it's the same thing as outpatient, right? We have our services names, the doctors, the staff, all of that. That's all broken out, has their names. Things for staff, that's just a grouping of staff, right? If we wanted to create an even more in-depth database that wasn't specialized in anything and maybe was for an entire organization and had hundreds of tables, that is another element that would be broken out, would have its own separate area with all the staff and things like that. So, all right, so now moving on to the actual database, we'll take a look at a few different things. First, we'll just pull all the tables. So as you can see, like the ERD diagram, we have 24 rows. We can describe really any of these, kind of go from there. We'll describe patient. And for patient, let's say we want to take a look at first and last name of all patients. Whoops. There we go. So yep, we got all our patients here. Nothing crazy. We can do all sorts of queries from this. I mean, let's say we just want to see what the average cost is for everybody in the database. So our billing information, like we were saying, it has a max price list, max insurance price list. So we'll just grab the average for this. And again, these are more simple ones. I'll do a couple more advanced ones as well, outside of just one table. So. So here, as expected, our max price list comes out a little bit higher than our standard insurance price list. So yeah, we can also do another one here. Let's just do a lookup of patient medical history. This is a join between two different tables, so we're querying from confidential and patient. Actually, hold on. Let me describe these so I get the attributes correct. Okay, so now I have all the attributes. Let me do this query. Alright, and we have 20 rows just like we have 20 patients, so gives you that unique join. And to do something a little bit more advanced, over here I actually have the code. I'm not going to write this one out just because it's so long, but we'll take a look at the actual code and then I'll run it. So this is grabbing about 5 different tables together, as you can tell from it right here. And then the where function is just joining the unique IDs together, and then we're grouping by the different outpatient doctor types, so services and procedures, and this just gives a total number as well as the different doctors there. So, all right. And as you can see, we just have the 2 doctors. They only offer 2 procedures at the moment. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Let me know if you have any questions or reach out if you have anything else. Thanks.